Hey, welcome back to another tutorial from PH Studios. This is from the Space Shooter tutorial series. Last tutorial we just discussed how to add our existing gameplay object, our existing screen manager, and our existing menu system inside of our project because it's been discussed many times before. I didn't want to bore you to death discussing it again. So in this tutorial we're going to actually start coding stuff ourselves. In this tutorial we're going to build a ship class, and we need to build a ship class first because Bullet needs to have a ship class and all sorts of stuff to manipulate the Bullet. And if it's a player sprite, it's going to shoot up. If it's an enemy sprite, it's going to shoot down. It's going to do some various effects depending if it's a player or an enemy. So we're just going to build a ship class first. So we right click the gameplay object folder, and let's go to add class. And let's call this ship. Alright, and it's going to be a public class. It's going to be a derivative of gameplay object. So basically our ship is going to hold what color to make the bullet. If it's a player, it's going to be a different color than the enemy, and you can add that effect if you wanted to. I have that in the original tutorial, so I add that in there as well. As the ability to have hits left, sort of like health. You can change it to health or keep it as hits left. And the speed of the enemy, or speed of the ship, how fast it's going to go. And actually, we're gonna actually implement a collision detection into the ship class instead of into the player and into the enemy. So let's get started. Let's create a new region, and let's call this gameplay data. And end region below. And if you're wondering what regions are, it's just a simple grouping of. It's not really useful for the compiler. It's just more useful for the reader because you can minus and plus. If you have 1,000 lines of code in one region, you can just minus, and you don't have that 1,000 lines of code visible. Alright, so I'm gonna add basic functionality that's been on the source for a while now. So we're gonna have a color that will colorize the bullet texture. And if it doesn't change color, if the color doesn't change color, you need to click the box and add using Microsoft.xna.framework.graphics. So now it should be green, bluish green. And let's bullet texture, or bullet color. And that's a private field. So we want a public property. And remember, the property and the field cannot be named the same thing. So if it confuses you that one's lowercase and one's uppercase, you can name it like color of bullet or whatever you want. The property can be named whatever you want. I just like the uppercase for my needs. Alright, now we're going to have get and protected set. So we're going to get, and we're just going to return the bullet color. And be careful here, if you do return the capital bullet color, and that calls a property, and that gets that, and it calls the property again, it's an infinite loop. So you want to make sure that you call the lowercase one. You want to call the field, not the property, otherwise it will be an infinite loop. Alright, now protected set. And what protected means is any derivative of this can set it. It's more restricted than public, and it's more open than private. Any derivative of ship can set the color of the bullet. So bullet color is equal to value. There's also private, protected, internal. That's just internal for this namespace, this project. Oh, speaking of namespaces, delete the dot folder name. Alright. So now we need a hits left, or you can name it health, and I'll just have it as int. Hits left. Its initial at 0. Okay, so now that again is a private field, so we need a public int hits left property to both get and set that. Public get and set. Get return hits left.